2025 is pretty much over. By the time this video comes out, we'll be in very late December, a couple of days left. Christmas is done. Maybe you're hungover, maybe you're not hungover, probably ate too much. This is sort of the period where everyone has a bit of a review of 2025, how it went, the lessons they've learned. For me, 2025 is probably my best year in business. I can't think of another year where I've made as much progress, made as much connections, and achieved as much as the goals I wanted to. So for me, this video is all about the lessons I've learned from 2025, stuff I'm going to be taking into 2026, and what you may learn from it. For those who don't know, my name's Niblock. I run a property portfolio worth £1.5 million. I've been featured in the Daily Telegraph in the UK and the Irish Independent. I've also owned an award-winning e-commerce company that's won 5 awards in under 2 years and have sold into over 14 countries. So this is all the lessons I've learned and how I've managed to have a successful 2025. Let's begin. Lesson number 1, the power of focus. For me, this has been really important. I think when you start off in business, you have all these ideas, but I want to do this, I want to focus on this, I want to try this strategy, and it's really difficult to not get excited by all these ideas. Like you're seeing all these people making money and, oh, I could do that, like I could do that. But really, that's one of the big errors a lot of people have. One of the big faults is they lose focus. So for me, 2025 was really about keeping that focus on what I wanted to do, my 2 core strategies. So for property, it was my BRR, buy-to-let strategy, where I focused on semi-detached properties and terrace properties, fixing them up when they were in really bad states and bringing them up to be the best house on the street was always my aim. And this has had a really good concept because I've had other opportunities appear to me, like, you know, we all see them, we see the HMOs, we see the rent-to-rents, commercial even. But for me, I wanted to focus and keep my focus on that core strategy, and that allowed me to really expand my property portfolio, produce brilliant results in what is a bit of a challenging market at the minute. There's no 2 ways about that. And again, in the e-commerce side of things, e-commerce is one of those ones where you're getting thrown a lot of stuff. We're all on social media, we're all seeing lots of different things. But for me, it's been focusing on our 2 main products, which are muslins and baby wraps. And by focusing just on them, they were already great products, but really getting that message across that they were great products. We won loads of awards this year, which were Best Carrier Awards, Best Muslin Awards, Best Sensory Product, all these awards which just signifies how great the product is. And we've been able to convey that message through our social media and really through emphasizing the product and without getting distracted by all these other concepts and maybe different SKUs we could launch and stuff like that. Focusing and having a clear focus on what you're doing and not getting distracted has been a real core lesson for me and could be a real good opportunity for you. So let's move on to lesson 2. This is really an idea that actually came from the end of 2024, which I brought into 2025 and relates quite a lot to number 1, but there's a couple of key differences, is clarity. The reason why clarity is so important for you is when you start off and you're writing goals, a lot of people don't know what their goals are. What's the revenue goals? What's the margin goals? What's the profit goals? How many followers? Breaking it all down like that there. And this is sort of where I've actually brought a couple of different tools in, which can be helpful. ChatGPT is actually super at this here, or whatever AI you use will really help at this point. Just go listen, planning my 2026. I want to get clarity on what my goals are. This is it here. Help me break my goals down into what they should be. And once you've got those goals, you need to be then clear on how you're going to achieve those goals. And for me, this is where backwards planning comes in. This is one of the things I use all the time, and I think it's really helpful to use. An example of how you may use it: you want to buy your first rental property. So you have that as your headline goal. Let's work back from that there. Well, what type of rental property do you want? Do you want an HMO? Do you want terrace property? Maybe it is terrace property you want to go for. Do you want to go for a buy-to-let terrace property? So you figure that out. That's your first one. Then you figure out how much money it's going to cost you, and you start to look at time frames. Do you have the knowledge even how to do this? So it really starts to backwards planning, allows you to break down your goal into simple steps that allows you to go from what your headline goal is all down to where your first step is. And then as you go and progress through the year, you just tick off each step. It's really, really simple. Lesson number 3, you hear a lot of people talk about this, but for me, this 2025 has been the year probably where I feel it's actually had the most benefit for me, and that's actually networking. And in all honesty, a lot of the time, it's a bit wishy-washy, a bit BS for a lot of people and for a lot of the way they preach it and how they do it. But for me, this year has been the year with this particular idea has come in really well. And that's the idea of forming a community or a network around you. Again, going back to Dubai, I've talked about it probably already too much throughout this year, but I've been really lucky in that I met a number of business owners who are at a similar stage to me in terms of how long they've been running their business. Some are a little bit further ahead, some might be a little bit further behind, but we're all at a really, really similar stage, and that's been brilliant for me because we get on the call about once a month, we talk through issues everyone's finding, the lessons they're learning, and we all try to give advice. Interesting thing is, particularly as a solo founder, it can be quite lonely. You don't really have anyone to bounce ideas off. You're very much in your own head and you're sort of almost feel like you're running around and everything's down to you. But speaking to these other people who I've formed a brilliant community with, they understand this. They're going through probably exactly the same thing, and the really good thing about it is they're able to offer advice and understanding. But even then, broadening this concept, one of the things I found really helpful is I've been a part of a number of, for example, property groups, and I'm a part of an e-commerce group as well. The ability to bounce ideas, hear some of what their problems are, and be able to help them as well has been really good. And I've been able to get some really great advice. You'd be surprised at sometimes the little simple things which people can just say that can make a big difference. For example, if you're in property, sometimes you're confused between like what 2 styles of bathroom you want to go for. Community group can help with that there. They might be able to point you in towards a good builder, and they also help your knowledge. Sometimes when you're not clear and stuff, they can give you that little bit of advice. Oh, here's how I looked at it, or here's what I've done. And it's just lessons like that there, and being a part of those groups that are supportive and helpful has been a big reason why 2025 has been successful for me. So lesson number 4, consistency compounds. Now, you've probably heard me talk a lot about this through the year if you've been watching me, and it's something I really, really believe in. I really had a fixed idea about this year that I wanted to be super, super consistent in everything I've done, and I've really found the benefits of that there. You hear the likes of Warren Buffett and many other people talk about how compounding interest and the fact of doing the same thing over and over again, and how it's just a wonder of the world, and that's really been true for me. It's been really, really true. So just simple little things, like I post on LinkedIn 5 times a week, Monday to Friday, pretty much every time. I might miss the odd day here and there, but it's, you know, we're talking about in the high 90% hit rates. With my e-commerce brand, we're posting every single day on Instagram and TikTok, and you don't maybe see results straight away. For a long time, maybe it's only 2 or 3 people liking your stuff, and that could even be yourself liking your own posts. But that consistency slowly builds, and you're creating what a lot of people refer to as digital assets, digital reputation. And this here builds, and these actions over time build and build and build, and you gain more knowledge. Like the phrase that comes always into my mind is the more you do something, the better you get at it. So I've got better at understanding what my audience wants to hear, and it's allowed me as well to clarify what I'm thinking, what my lessons have been. And this consistency's allowed your audience, whether you're going for an e-commerce or you're trying to build up your reputation in property, to understand who you are, to see that you're out there, and that if anything comes up, they're going to be thinking of you. It goes back to that famous Daniel Priestley sort of concept of the 11-7-4 method, about how you have to be spending time on the social media or wherever your audience is, and turning up consistently and getting them to spend time with you. At a certain point of time they've spent with you, to get to know you. And this consistency has then just allowed the whole brand to really take off. But that isn't just even just posting on social media and what I'll be talking about. There's also been things I've been really consistent about doing for me that's really helped my growth, is viewing X amount of houses a week. So every week I try to view at least 4 houses. If I can't view it, I've at least made the effort to go view it. And what I mean by that there is I've done the research, I've spent the hours behind the laptop looking at properties, seeing what works. Can't always control the market and know what's turning up, but I'm spending that time trying to find what might be the next deal. And then when it goes to my e-commerce brand, I make a minimum of 20 ads a week. Sometimes these ads are awful, they don't work, they don't look good, but at least I'm making them, and there might be a few good ones in there. So that consistency over time compounds, and the more you do something, the better you get at it. And the more you put in the effort in, the more the result at the end will come out. The last one is kind of more of a personal one, and it's something I haven't been the best at this year. I've done occasionally, but definitely need to do more of, and it's recognizing the meaningful moments. So I've had quite an interesting year this year. There's been a lot of really good points, some low points as well, but a lot of really good points. And it's been highlighted through articles in the Irish Independent and Daily Telegraph. When you're in the trenches as a business owner or trying to do anything like that, you really tend to move on quite quickly. You don't think about these things. You don't take the moment to sit back and go, I have worked really hard, and this is just a moment of success I've been able to enjoy and appreciate and be proud of yourself for that moment. I used to be quite good whenever I had a little success, whether go out for a nice meal, have a nice glass of whiskey or beer or something. I should be doing more of that there. But even just taking those couple of moments off, because I've been so much in the trenches this year and so much hours I've spent behind the laptop working, that taking those couple of moments out to recognize it, to really appreciate it, has been really important this year, and it's a lesson I've really appreciated. Definitely 2026, I'll be taking it forward. Here's a quick roundup of the 5 lessons I've taken from 2025. The first one is the power of focus. As discussed, really good, keep it simple, focus on a few little things and put all your attention into that there. Number 2 is clarity. Be really clear on what you want to achieve. Use backward planning to break down what your goals are into simple steps you can tick off and achieve as you're aiming towards that. Lesson 3, build a network and community. Your network and community can be a number of different people. It can be different groups of people involved in different things, but make sure that they understand you and your journey and where you're at. This allows you to be able to get advice, whether it's even on a personal level or a business level, to allow people to understand what you're going through and really help bring you forward. This is something that's been really vital for me. Lesson number 4, consistency compounds. This is really, really important. You can be occasionally great, but it's not going to get you anywhere. So where you really make the big difference is by being super consistent. Allowing your consistency to compound over time and make that whatever you're doing more of a routine. Helps you build an audience, helps you work towards your goal, and it's just over time. This here, you will see a big difference. Instead of just doing things occasionally, focus on a few things that you know really can help you drive your business or whatever your personal goal is forward, and do that consistently, whether it's once a day, 5 times a week, or whatever you need to do. Figure it out and be consistent with it. And the last lesson, recognize the meaningful moments. This is really important. It's a slog. Whatever you're doing, it's a slog, and you're going to be in the trenches, and it's going to be really difficult. Take time out to celebrate the success when you have it. It's important that you know that you have been successful, and when you've worked hard, taking those couple of moments and appreciating your hard work has been good. So that's been my lessons of 2025. Like I said at the start, 2025 has been the best year I've had from a business perspective. These are some of the lessons I've used that's really helped me get to where I've wanted to, and on reflection, it's been the things I felt have made the biggest impact, and it's tried to distill this all to yourselves that anyone can use it in no matter what field you're in, or whether it's personal goals, fitness goals, or business goals. These are the 5 concepts I felt have really helped me. If you're interested in getting into property in 2026, or you're interested in working with me in any other way, feel free to shoot me a DM on my social media. We'll link it all up at the video and in the description. Other than that, really want to thank you all for 2025. It's been certainly a very interesting year shooting all this, going onto YouTube for the first time this year. I've had lots of really great comments, and really looking forward to 2026, making more videos, hopefully helping out lots of people and learning a lot along the way. So yeah, 2025, you've been great. 2026, I'm ready. Let's go.